article that says hiring neurodivergent people is good for the fashion world. In fact, hiring more of such people makes it thrive. Neurodivergent people can range from those with autism and ADHD to Tourette's syndrome, those who think, behave and learn differently. And Vogue gave examples of a photographer with ADHD who says the condition gives her excellent problem-solving skills. How about that?
Yeah, and there's also a Ralph Lauren designer who says his dyslexia allows him to visualize complex garment construction. So let's learn how a local social enterprise here nurtures people with different needs and those from disadvantaged groups, helping them fulfill their dreams of joining the fashion world. Let's bring on to Singapore today Eileen Yap, founder of Singapore Fashion Runway. Hey Eileen, we saw football star David Beckham on your website. Did Singapore Fashion Runway work with him?
Hello everyone, I'm Eileen, the founder of Singapore Fashion Runway. So thanks Melanie and Lance for bringing me to the show tonight. So talking about David Beckham, we're so honored because a couple of years ago, we actually worked closely with Marina Bay Sands. So he is the ambassador of Marina Bay Sands. So with that, we actually designed a mural. So the mural is actually launched the charity festival for MBS, and the mural is actually drawn by one of our special needs youth called Leong Sijin. So we were very excited because with that, he actually came to Singapore and also we launched the festival together. That's how we got acquainted.
Very nice. Have you got his phone number?
Well, no, but we have an autograph from him because we're so excited. So MBS was very nice as well. So we put in, I think, effort to actually co-design the mural, as well as I think a private session with him. Yeah, with our youth as well, and he gifted everyone an autograph. I think soccer.
He's a nice guy, isn't he?
Very nice guy.
Yes, he is.
Good man, that David Beckham. Yeah, Eileen, many of these youth say they have difficulties finding a job, even though they are talented. So what's your story behind setting up Singapore Fashion Runway? Do you interact with many special needs or troubled youth when you were perhaps growing up?
I think for me, I think that, like we look at youth with special needs, they are equally talented, they equally have aspiration. So although they are living with certain conditions, challenges, but as we, because we often have a lot of activities, events, and we chance upon youth and families with special needs. So with that, we just felt that perhaps, especially the people who have graduated from the special needs, what are they actually doing? So of course, the aspiration is to contribute back to society. So in 2018, I actually launched a center. Right, with the center, we meet the families and the youth every Saturday, and slowly as we meet them every Saturday, we're thinking that how about Monday to Friday, like for those who want to continue learning, right? So slowly as we meet them Monday to Saturday, 6 days a week, we found that some of them can actually, enter workforce, and that's where we actually get to hire them as designers, as artists, retail assistants, because we run the store in fashion, and recently we started food because some of them has aspirations in F&B. So as we look into, I think the population of youth with challenges, with conditions, we just felt that they are just like anyone with aspiration, and I guess with our own capacity, that's what we can do to nurture them in the interest.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many of them who are so talented, and it takes someone like you to just point them in the right direction. So can you tell us more about the fashion items these youth are taught to make? And they probably also have many suggestions of their own. But do they start from scratch, like cutting the fabric first, using various software, stuff like that?
Yes, so I think everyone has a different talent. So with our youth with special needs, so some are excellent graphic designers. So in computers, they are able to actually understand how digital art, of course there are those that work with paper, pen, watercolors, etc. But what if we make them into fabrics? So there is a group of designers that we work with, and we turn them into digital artwork. From digital artwork, we can turn them into fabrics. And with another group that are loving the craft making, sewing, or show the interest, so we turn them into craft makers, artisans. So they actually, like imagine one group design the fabrics, another group actually turn them into merchandise. So today we actually teach them to sew, I think, things from pouches, scarves, bags, like laptop bags, and a lot of things. So you actually see that the art that they have, or the talent that they have come alive. Yeah, so I think for the youth, they are very happy because, like a lot more people can appreciate their talent.
Eileen, how do you train the trainer? Because they need a strong set of skills to teach neurodiverse or youth who are disadvantaged.
Yes, so we work closely with the caregivers. So they are our largest pool of support. So, for myself as well, I learned a lot from every single caregiver. So equally as we nurture the youth, we also nurture the families. So families, some of them will say that they would like to take up certain challenges in terms of maybe they are very good in organizing. So when it comes to events, whereby they are learning step by step on how to deal with real customers, real pop-up events. So some of them cross into trainer position. And then some are already very strong in craft making, sewing. So of course, we will teach them some of our, with our guidance on pattern making, all right, on craft making. And then after that, I think slowly they are tilted towards training positions. So I think what is beautiful is that a caregiver who is always looking after, let's say, a special needs youth can now also learn something new and then discover his or her own talent and look after another youth inside our organization. So that's how we train the trainer naturally. Yes.
Okay, I've gone to your pop-up website, your pop-up store in Esplanade. Still there, right?
Yes. So
okay.
It's not a pop-up. So we have been actually started there since last year, August. So thanks to, of course, I think the support that we get from Esplanade as well. So we've been there as a permanent store from last year till hopefully as long as possible.
That's fabulous. Yeah. Love it. So can you tell us about some of the items for sale, let's say on your website, okay? Because the chili crab mask looks cute. So, and also when I went to your store at the Esplanade Lands, I saw a huge quilt that looked like a prata. So it's a prata quilt.
It's almost like a prata and an egg prata.
Egg prata, that's right.
Prata with telur.
So we always start with what the youth like when they design. So some of them, a large pool of them love food. Another large pool of them will love the flora and fauna, and then they'll love Malayan. So with the different things that they like about Singapore, some love architecture. So we have asked them to design. So inside the Esplanade store, you can see the wonderful things that they love about Singapore, right? So from Vanda Miss Jo came from Malayan, and we have turned it into merchandise. So you can actually carry off, I think, T-shirt that's actually designed by them, right? Recently, we launched a whole series of I Love SG, right? So I Love SG will be their own interpretation with all the red and white inspiration. And some of it is actually the Malayan, the playground, Dragon Playground. A lot of it is food because our youth also like food. So you can see kaya toast, breakfast set, like ice kacang products. Yes, as well.
Yeah, I think it was an egg I saw, not a prata. It's an egg, right?
Correct,
a fried egg. Yeah,
it's a fried egg. Yes, it's a fried egg.
Big fried egg quilt.
But it's a great idea. Having it as a prata or nasi lemak sort of motifs.
Correct.
And then, people going overseas, right? You can give them away as gifts, so when they wrap themselves up at night, they know what they're missing when they wake up in the morning.
Our customers, you're right, because our customers actually buy them and then put onto their sofa, and then they feel very therapeutic just looking at them, like cuddling it, for the blankets. But otherwise, they can always carry a tote bag. And then I think strut the catwalk in the office, and then I think sharing behind the story of each and every single piece of a design that they own. So I think that is what we felt that the customers or the supporters are, that they can really do for us as well.
We've talked about all these people, these talented people you've been working with so far, Eileen. So can you give us a success story where you've groomed a promising youth and how he or she is doing very well now in fashion or retail?
So actually, we have a lot of promising youths, right? So maybe I can share more about Loverton, right? So for him, he actually graduated from a special needs school, and then we felt that initially he actually signed on as a model because Singapore Fashion Runway promotes self-confidence as well. So we regularly organizes like runway shows. So he signed on as a model. But after that, we realized that he is very good in performance. So he would also dance very well. And then he has very strong deportment, a sense of, I think, confidence in him. Slowly, as we felt the strength in him, we encouraged him to do retail. Right. So initially, the youth take baby step. Initially, it's just modeling the merchandise that they designed, and slowly we found that Louboutin, if you go to Esplanade store today, right, you can actually see him, right, single-handedly handling all the merchandise, visual merchandising as well as the customer. So he will serve you, right, and then he's able to open the store, he's able to close the store, and he's able to, I think, very good in arithmetic. So he's able to count the stock. So I think he is a wonderful success story, whereby I think when he first chanced upon us, it was just about, self-confidence, catwalk. But we never know, behind the scenes, what are the things that a youth can do. And believe that people like him, Casey, David, every one of them, they are able to learn and contribute back to the social enterprise and the society.
Eileen, I think I've met this guy you're talking about. Wow, he's such a presence and he really knows his merchandise. I tell you that. Thanks, Eileen. Eileen Yap is the founder of Singapore Fashion Runway. It's a local social enterprise. Find them at singaporefashionrunway.com. Okay, let's find out from Eugene Loh what's happening on Singapore Stories after the news at 9.
A product designer, she designs an endless